Hey guys, this is going to be really confusing for me because this is an interview from Korea and I am using Google Translate to look at this, to try and skim through this and see what's going on. It was a, I don't even know, G Star conference held at Bexco in Busan. Um, Johan and Shams were there. And they're talking about the start of their game, their review scores, and the slump they've been in. So I wanted to dip through this because I saw there's a Reddit post, but the Reddit post is really just taking stuff from here. So I figured I'd look into the comments, find the actual source of what was going on. Overcoming live service issues. Let's see, we were fairly small before. The way we pay attention to games is different now. Yeah, they were like slow kicking before. Now they have a bunch of people. Um, they increased the war bond time from 4 weeks to 6 weeks, and they realized it wasn't perfect. Yeah, that sounds about right. Because 4 weeks, I thought that was even fast. When I first originally heard they're going to be releasing content every 4 weeks, I thought that was pretty. I thought that was a pretty fast pacing for the game, and they definitely needed to change their workflow and whatnot. And that's essentially what they're saying here in some of this. Ups and downs of 10 months and listening to the gamers. They thought they were lost before the 60-day update. That's wild that I feel like they weren't in tune with what the people had to say about the game. Big 60-day or 60-day update was a bit of a risk for them. Um, Quite a few changes had to solve problems that popped up rather than adding something new, but this was not well received. It was a hopeless response. Da-da-da. Oh my god. Yeah, the patch notes are Korean. They reviewed everything. They added the new mechanics. Calculated the time. Asked for Sony's help. Focused on design philosophy. Talking about shots to kill. Uh, from ideal numbers to realistic numbers. Going from 8 rounds to like 4 to 5 rounds to kill certain enemies sounds about right. I mean, it felt like before Buff Divers, it was quite the struggle. And I'll be fair, I liked the struggle, I liked the difficulty, but there was a lot of moments where you're like, wow, this is just, my weapon is not doing anything. Flamethrowers and machine gun support weapons were hardly used. See, I find that surprising. Um, until that small period where they made flamethrowers useless, I could understand them not being used. But I was using machine guns a bunch, and I would have people who would dedicate using a machine gun. I don't feel like they were that bad, but they're talking about anti tank firepower being required for high level, so you had limited options. I feel like it's still like that. They'll always be like that. If you're going on high level, you have to have things to kill. Bile Titans, Striders, tanks. But it was kind of limited because certain anti tank didn't participate as well in the grand scheme of things. With recoilless did not. Uh, Commando was good for killing fabs, and it was better to bring things like eagle ear strikes and rail cannon strikes than try and use like back mounted weaponry. Was not on par. Now it's a lot better. I'm talking mostly about the 60-day stuff that's already going on. I'm trying to find about if there's any new stuff in here. Balance philosophy. It's tough because it's all translated. Talking about dad divers and balancing weapons based on each gamer and da da da. Trying to make all weapons feel somewhat OP. See, I think the only problem with this is you can only balance the game so far in the upper limit. So for like the lower limit, yeah, your weapons are gonna feel good, and you're like the mid difficulties. People are playing 7, 8, 9, stuff like that. Those people who are not playing super hell dives are gonna be like, wow, okay, my equipment feels like it should do what it should do. But when you have equipment like that, and the higher difficulty, it lowers the maximum difficulty down. It's because your equipment's so good. There's nothing they could do to increase the difficulty because they haven't added new units and they haven't added new challenges. So now you've got this really, really good equipment. So you basically lowered the maximum skill required for the game. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. And that's why I play less, because I don't feel as challenged by the game, and I do have moments where I'm like, oh man, I'm really into it, and I'm trying to survive. But there's a lot more moments where I'm just like, okay, we have everything under control completely. And that semblance of everything being under control, even in a Super Helldives, is like it happens so much more. Talking about Arma, Call of Duty, probably the things that make them think about uh, what kind of gameplay loop they want to have. Wow, at this point, we're aiming for a level where you play the game if you choose a random loadout. Uh, at level 7-8, you'll be clear the game even if you choose a random loadout. That's crazy that they're actually doing that. They don't have baked random loadouts in the game, but for them to say that, like, and yeah, you do have to be careful about your difficulty level 10 loadouts because you might mess yourself up. But yeah, that's crazy that's their design philosophy now. They talked about SMGs as well. How that the last one was not even two handed, and there's no SMG for heavy weapons. Um, Possibly some changes with SMGs would be cool. Short term probably won't happen anything, but definitely want to work on some SMG stuff. Talking about the charm of bringing tank mines and conceptual loadouts, and the designers were worried there'll be too many people flocking to difficulty 10 after the update. The desirable difficulty distribution is normal distribution falls in the middle, but they're worried the results will be skewed to one side. 6 and 7 account for a huge majority, of course. There are many level 10s, but the most played difficulty is 7. Um, That surprises me, honestly. I know I played a lot of the game, so I am a bit biased. I only go into a lower level difficulty than 10 when someone else is hosting on the ship. If I'm going to host a mission at Helldivers, it's going to be difficulty 10 every time. The defenses missions like Eradicates and the defend missions right now at 10 are so easy and boring that I don't even record them, post them. Sometimes the Blitz missions I don't even post because, quite frankly, they're so easy and they're so short that people don't even watch the videos. The longer missions where it becomes a struggle due to lack of lives, lack of equipment, reclaiming samples, those gameplay loops are more interesting for me. And I'm kind of surprised that people aren't jumping up a bit in difficulty after the changes. So maybe the game's a bit harder than I think. And I know that people are coming into Helldivers now after 8 months that they're not going to have thermites. They're not going to have upgraded 500 kilograms. They're not going to have all the stratagems. So yeah, you do have to work your way up to 10, but there's a lot of things you could work your way up to real quick. I mean, you could just get a strafing run, a regular machine gun, or a recoilless. You get a recoilless and a strafing run and maybe like an eagle airstrike or something like that, and just go nuts. You could get some easy stratagems that would allow you to tackle some really big stuff on bots and bugs. Talking about people who completed difficulties and they added level 10 in the ship module, more focused on fixing problems and putting out something new. And yeah, I feel that there was a lot of bugs and a lot of stuff. Right now, I feel like the game is in a really good spot. Um, where they're at now, I feel like performance is in a pretty good spot. I feel like stability's. I haven't crashed this update. They did something in the middle of that caused me to lose a lot of matches to crashing, and I was pretty upset. I was also sick at the time. But they fixed after they did the hot fix with the hot fix and fixed the WASD stuff on the radio wheel. I have not crashed once. Been super excited about that. When I do jump on, I expect I'll be able to play the whole mission that I'm trying to save. Talking about the DSS now. This was where I was looking for. I'm looking for the actual quotes of this. More features will be activated next week. So we'll continue to add more player participatory content like this in the future. Planning crossovers with other IPs. Oh man, that would be wild. I'd love to see Deep Rock. I'd love to see something about Deep Rock be laced into Helldivers, dude. They're just fist bump each other. Considering IPs like Warhammer, Alien, oh my god, StarCraft, Zerg from StarCraft, Terran Marine weapons. Gauss rifle, please. Gauss rifle. I am so about a freaking Gauss rifle right now. Change the destroyer skin or Pelican to a dropship? Oh my god. Oh, StarCraft, man, it's cool. I would love to see more things that are crossover stuff. Be crazy. Yeah, they're talking about isolated skins where one person would have a different skin and others wouldn't, and they'd have a different experience. Luminates are never coming back. If they do, it would probably be a big problem. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Illuminate are definitely something that's gonna come back with that big gap in the world map. When they talk about vehicles, so vehicles are costly. They make jokes about Helldiver's driving gauge. And they did say vehicle updates are in the plans. It will be added soon, but I don't think I can go into more detail than that. So, then there was this old video of buggy stuff with a person in a stalwart mount on a buggy. Um, Talking about chaos divers. We're thinking about how to incorporate chaos divers into the game. That would be fucking hilarious. Talking about big thank you to the Korean Helldiver community. Korea deploys the most Helldivers among Asian countries. Interesting. I know there's a lot of Korean gamers, and I was big into watching StarCraft 2. So as an IP, it was super popular. I remember hearing something like there was like national TV channels for people watching StarCraft in Korea. So I know it is a very interesting culture as far as video games go. They take their games very seriously. It feels like. I think that's really interesting. So we're gonna see apparently some DSS stuff, some vehicle stuff in the works, and it looks like there's some bigger updates that might come along. And if we're lucky, we'll get some collaboration stuff. It would be pretty cool to see any sort of StarCraft collabs. That would be freaking awesome. Hoping to see some content stuff because I think that's where I'm at. I don't have any big complaints about performance or stability. I just want more. I want more Helldivers, is what I want. I'm a little fried because I've played so much of it. I mean, I've been playing since launch almost every day. I've only taken some small breaks. I took some small breaks when I had some. I got sick recently, when I got depressed a little bit, and then I can't remember the other time. Oh, right now while I'm playing Valheim. So I expect more Helldivers. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not dead. I'm still alive. I'm still here. I'm playing every day. So I'll still be posting Helldives randomly, super Helldives, just all over the place. Really hoping we get some more updates. I can't wait. I'm really excited. I'm excited to see what goes on for potential vehicle updates, particularly. So peace out, guys. I'll catch you later.